Continues on, says, I'm looking to productize the work I have been doing to help online influencers sell to their audiences. How would I approach that? You would just write out your 5 or 6 steps. So let's do this. How to productize service. This one's useful. So there's a couple questions that you ask. What do you do? Who are your best clients? What do you do in 5 to 6 steps? Or let's just say this. What are the 5 to 6 steps you do? What do you not do? Come on. Who are your worst clients? What are some steps that you don't do? So Adam, these 5 or 6 questions right here will very, very easily and quickly help you productize what you're doing and how you're doing it. And they are very simple questions. I did not learn this from anybody, but looking back, this is like the very simple way of turning this amorphous service-based relationship into a product-based relationship. What do you do, right? So for most people in this group, we get our clients more customers with, let's just say, Facebook ads. This, by the way, is a technical sentence, as it best describes what we do from a technical point of view. It's not a unique selling position. It's not a unique marketing position. It's not a very strong sentence. This is us describing what we do. That would be like, we help people lose weight with weightlifting. Like, yeah, that's what you do, but it's not the end result. That's not exciting. It's not motivating. It's not good enough. So you want to get more specific. And I did this exercise in my paid program, but it's called creating a unique selling position or your named program. So it's we help blank do blank out blank. That's the first version of this. So we help car wash people get 5 to 10 more car washes per week without, I don't know, something, right? And then you want to get more specific. So we help, let's just say, very specific customer do very specific thing without very specific problem with or by a very specific named program. So we help people lose weight with weightlifting is not good enough. We help busy moms and dads lose 5 pounds in 90 days without leaving their house to work out with our work from home workout program. Like, that is a very strong product name. And this helps define who you serve, who you don't, who's a good fit, who's a bad fit, things like that. And it actually provides a lot of confidence to the person prescribing it because it's very, very specific, things like that. What do you not do? This really helps define what's outside of scope and what's inside of scope. For example, if you're doing like Facebook ads for most people like in this drive or watching this group, we don't do websites. We don't do social media posting. We don't do Snapchat. We don't do all that other stuff, right? You can always name other things that you decide to do or to not do. If you're like, oh, we should do that, you can add it into your program or have it as an upsell. But very powerfully, like once you describe and start communicating what you don't do, you feel a lot happier about it. Like plastic surgeons, by the way, or bariatric surgeons will not go with you to the gym, right? So we help mom and dads lose weight through bariatric surgery, and you can lose up to 15 pounds in 15 minutes, you know, Geico style or something like that. What don't you do? We're not going to take you to the gym. We are not going to call you every single day to check in on you. We're not going to do that. And all of a sudden, it's very clear what we do and what we don't do. For agencies, we don't do websites. We don't do social media posting. We don't do Snapchat. If you want to get more specific, we don't do certain offers, right? Like we only do ads for car washes that push to their monthly recurring membership. We don't do high ticket clients and customers. That's it. We only deal with tunnel washers. We don't deal with hand washers. We only deal with moms and dads that want to work out at home. We don't have people coming into our facility, things like that. We do nutrition or we don't do nutrition. We do stretching or we don't do stretching. There's something inherent about a physicalness of a product where you understand what it does and doesn't do inherently. Like nobody is going to their phone and saying like, hey, can you drive my car? Like that doesn't work that way. It doesn't make any sense. And very often you have to do the same exact thing for your service. Next up is who are your best clients? Moms that were 37 years old, that have 2 kids, that want to lose 15 pounds and stretch more. Something like that, right? So who are your best clients? My best client, let's just say it's bike shops. Bike shops that have a strong tourism customer base. All right, let's just say it's bike shops that have that are near strong tourist hotspots that sell $10,000 bikes and ship to the customer's home. Those are my best clients. My worst clients are bike shops that sell to fixed gear hipsters that only sell $4.99 bikes, something like that. Those are my worst clients. You can have this internally for yourself, or you can actually communicate this to potential clients like, hey, want to let you know our worst clients are bike shops that sell to fixed gear hipsters and sell $4.99 bikes. Are you that client? Our worst clients are the clients that buy a program and then don't do anything for 6 months. Are you that client? Our worst clients are people that want to lose weight but don't show up to their bariatric surgery appointments. Our worst clients are clients that want to lose weight but can't stick to a nutritional program. Simply, by the way, by saying who your best clients are, your worst clients are, you force what's called a change of identity in an individual. And there's advantages to that. They'll be all in, they'll be the process will be transformative. More importantly, that self-individual, the person that's been forced to pick a side and forced to transform, as soon as they start doing the non-ideal stuff, they'll be like, oh, that's not what we do. No, right? For example, like good football players, they don't get drunk the day before the game, right? It's like, who are your worst students, your worst football clients? Football clients get drunk the day before. And if you're communicating that to yourself and to your future clients that are like right on the edge, they will just, all right, these are going to be your best clients. And that's a mistake I made because I should have told my 2 most recent clients I've had to yell at. My worst clients, by the way, before we get started, I want to let you know my worst clients are the clients that abdicate their marketing, don't log into the CRM, and complain 30 days later about how we're not working out when they haven't even seen they've gotten 4 missed calls in a row and 3 people said that they have cash, but your front desk told them to go elsewhere. Like, you're not that type of person, are you? They're like, oh, not at all. And then one of 2 things will happen. The first is you'll catch them doing it. You said, I thought you weren't this person. Or they will self-catch themselves. And then, it's not your fault anymore. So what do? Get super specific. What do you not do? Again, get specific, get super specific. There are some people that do websites that are like, I do not do single page websites. I only do 3-page websites. Cool, right? Who are your best clients? Our best clients are people that pay their invoice on time, that are not design focused, and all they want is more phone calls to people to buy what they have to sell. Our worst clients are small business owners that think they know more about website design than we do and nitpick on the details and ignore the big picture. You're feeling pretty good about like who's your target client, right? What are the 5 or 6 steps that we do? Well, first things first is we run customer research to know what people want to buy from you. Then we create a Facebook ad with your best performing offer, push them to a landing page, and then a thank you page that incentivizes a phone call, because if they're calling you, everything is great. From there, we push that information into a notification chain so everyone knows what's going on. We have a CRM that we set up for you, and we have something called the soap opera sequence, because you and I both know that Kim Kardashian is famous. We have no idea what she sells. The advantage is I didn't have to explain to you Kim Kardashian, and people buy people's stories first and their products second. So what we're going to do is we're going to send an email every day for 5 days in a row to these people to get them interested in your story, and there we go. These are 5 or 6 steps. Want to let you know we don't touch your website. Want to let you know we're not going to be training your staff. Want to let you know we're not going to be doing blank, blank, and blank. This is the program. This is what we do. This is what we not do. That works really, really well. Most people have something like this or derivative of this. Just it could be separate and different and unique for every individual. So this is what I do. You could do something like auditing past. You could have an auditing phase. So Mr. John, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your past 30 days, figure out how we can meet or beat for you. Create an offer that sells 2 times more than what you're currently selling for. We're going to send out a risk reversal to your list and then help you create 15 videos on how to make those clients happy. Cool, right? This is an offer. This is what we do for 4 or 5 steps, and maybe there's only 4, but you could just add a couple in there as well. Here's another thing. You send us the videos that you're doing. It's an hour-long video. Just say this. We're going to do an hour-long video interview. Chop it up into 3 to 4 minute segments. Install ads and targeting to build your audience, and have a call to action, which is for your calendar. Plus, automatic retargeting for your group, email list, or blank. Cool. And this is like a content re-leverage program where they do a 1 long hour interview with you, and then they chop it up. Cool, there's 5 or 6 steps. Like having this written out builds a whole lot of confidence. And so like you're very happy about what you're doing and how you're doing, and your clients are very much like aware of it. What don't you do? We don't touch your website. We don't audit your phone calls. We don't do text message support. We don't do certain things. And simply by describing what you do and what you don't do, you're going to feel a lot better. So like plastic surgeons, don't do text message support. I don't know if they do or not. I'm sure some plastic surgeons do, but as an example, like plastic surgeons don't do text message support. Personal trainers can say, we don't do powerlifting. That's getting more and more specific. You can say mechanics, and we don't rebuild transmissions on electric cars. And they don't have transmission electric cars, but as an example, deciding what they do and what they don't do. And this process right here will definitely help you productize your service and do it in a way to where like you feel fair and you're happy with it. And this process applies to anyone that does a service that needs to have a product around it. There's big advantages like what you do, what you don't do. You can train staff on it. You can lower your costs. You can lower your prices. You can have a faster cash to sell. Like if you productize, you train your staff what to do and how to not do. And all of a sudden, what took 6 weeks to deliver a product can now take 6 days. And you can adjust your prices. You can either increase your price because the quality shoots through the roof, or decrease your price simply as a function of like an assembly line type of thing. Like Honda clearly decides what they do and what they don't do. Like, no, the Honda Civic is this. It's not a truck, right? Bentley says this is what we do. It's not cheap, right? And so you can do the same exact thing, and you'll be very, very happy with it. You just have to get specific. It may take some time to figure this out, but overall, like, it's a very simple process. You can, by the way, if you're coming from a place of scarcity, you can have 3 or 4 different productized services and let your client pick. I don't want to put this ink on my face again. There we go. So you can let your client pick. You can present them options. So for example, if I wanted this is what I would do. I could say, hey, we've got 3 different packages for you. We've got a chief marketing officer. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. This is who it's for. This is not for. It's going to cost you $5,000 a month. By the way, I just signed up for a program like this. It's it's a project manager as a service. Cool, get it done, right? So we've got chief marketing officer as a service. This includes one-on-one support. This is what it doesn't do, all that fun stuff. It's $5,000 a month. We've got okay, well, it just broke again. Whatever, I'll stitch this later. So you can have your done with you program. We do not install the ads for you. We will show you and your team and staff how to do it. And it does cost you money. This is what we do. This is what we don't do. It costs X dollars, either flat rate or per month. And then we have a done for you program, which includes X, Y, Z, and 1, 2, and 3, but does not include X, Y, Z, 1, 2, and 3. So let's just say X dollars as well. And whether it's per month or one-time installation, simply having these 3 things and communicating them as a product all of a sudden works really, really well. And then all of a sudden, if you've got a client that's like, hey, I really want this, and you say, I'm sorry, one-on-one support is only offered in Chief Marketing Officer program. If you'd like to upgrade, great. Otherwise, we'll have to let you know that you can have to stick over here. And if you want to look at a company that does this really, really well, look at Amazon and their levels of support for their AWS, Amazon Web Services. There's a free tier, there's a paid tier, and there's a top tier. And it's really, really interesting because when you sign up, it says very, very clearly, there's like 4-day email support, end of discussion. Or maybe it's like 3 days, right? There's no chat support, there's no phone call, email support, and community. And then there's another tier that says, hey, you can get chat support and 24-hour turnaround on your emails. And then there's another tier, which is like you get a phone number you can call with one of our certified Amazon technicians, right? And each tier requires different dollars. This is like near free or free. I don't know what this is, but this is like you have to spend $10,000 to $15,000 a month to get like their higher tier, like one-on-one support. And so these people at first they'd be like, oh, this is horrible, this is bad. And Amazon can be like, look, dude, you didn't buy this other stuff you knew. If you want it, you just have to pay more. Like, oh, okay. And all of a sudden it feels a lot better. Most times, most up-and-coming agencies that haven't gone through this productization or exercise will kind of blend this stuff together and then blend this stuff together and not tell their client what's included and what's not included. And you end up getting flustered and angry and burnt out. And that's just how it's going to work in the beginning. Until one day you wake up, you're like, all right, we're going to clear this up. Hey, Mrs. Johnson, want to let you know I'm super happy that you're calling me every single day for updates on your ad. Want to let you know we're actually closing out one-on-one support. We'll be communicating all support through text message or email. And if you'd like one-on-one support, we actually have a Chief Marketing Officer program, but it's substantially more expensive. Would you like to know about this? Just stay on your current plan. And then everybody feels a lot better. So that's how you productize. It's very, very worth it. I would highly recommend you do it. And this exercise can run independently of your actual agency and just like have an idea and then see where your clients and customers bucket in. And all of a sudden you might be happier.